Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my studio. This is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this video series is perfect for my first-time painters. And first-time painters are those of you that have never painted before, or you're painting at home by yourself for the first time or with a group. So these are nice, simple, easy step-by-step instructions to help you get more comfortable with your mixing of your paint and with applying paint and with your tools and your brushes. So just have fun as you go through this process. In this particular video series, it's going to be a series of trees, and I recommend that you try each one of the videos. One of the easier things to paint as a first-time painter is a tree or a flower or a landscape. Or even a silhouette, and check out my silhouette series as well for that. What you're going to see in the description box below, there is a link to a supply kit, and if you're purchasing your own supplies, there's a link to show you everything that you need. You can purchase on Amazon or from your local art store, or utilize what you already have. So again, as a first-time painter, the more practice you give this, the better you're going to get. And when you're ready to kind of take it to the next level, I want you to check out my online school, paintwithlovejoy.com. And on that school, I feature my Paint Your Pet class, and it is geared towards first-time and beginner painters. And I break down all the steps. You learn about your value scale, which is a core foundational art skill. And it's a skill that you can apply to anything creative in the future. So again, when you're ready to kind of take that next step and learn a little bit more and paint something that you really care about, check out my Paint Your Pet class on my online school. So I think that's enough talking for now. Let's go ahead and get started painting. Alright guys, this is going to be a fun painting. So we're going to be starting with the background. This is perfect for first-time painters. And we're going to start with light pink as our first color. So you're going to pull a little bit of that white aside, tiny amount of red to make a light pink. And start off pretty light because we're going to go darker from here on out. And about in the middle of your canvas with this light pink, I want you to draw a large heart shape. And the heart shape should be about the size of your palm or about the size of your hand. And you're going to draw that heart shape on there and then fill it in with your light pink. This is going to be kind of our base shape that we're going to build the rest of our background colors on. Now, if you're one of my first-time painters, take a deep breath, relax. I'm really proud of you for painting at home. You're doing great. And you can see on the plate that I am adding a bit more red to make a slightly darker pink. I want you to do the same thing. And you're going to go right around the perimeter of the first light heart shape you made. And you may notice that as your light pink and slightly darker pink meet each other, you can soften that line between the two of them and blend it a little bit. And to soften that line, sometimes you might just wipe off that excess paint from your brush and using light pressure just go over that perimeter where the two colors are meeting. This will get more comfortable with more practice. So now we're going back to the plate, making a darker pink, which just means adding a little bit more red to the mixture you were just making. And doing the same thing, just going around the perimeter of that medium shade of pink. And do the same thing as far as your blending where the two shades meet. Wipe off your brush, and with light pressure where the two colors meet, just slightly with light pressure move your brush over the two and you'll see that they blend. Again, take a deep breath, relax. I'm really proud of you for painting at home, and just enjoy the process as we start filling up the space on our canvas. The process of painting is very therapeutic. All right, so you're going to clean your brush really good, and now we're going to make a little buffer of white. So you're going to still use that medium flat brush, and right on the perimeter of your darker pink, I want you to put maybe an eighth of an inch of white around that. So when we add our blue, we're going to bring our blue into this white paint compared to into our pink paint. All right, so pause the video, take your progress photo, and now we're going to make our light blue color.
So starting with white, you're going to add a tiny amount of blue into your white to make a light blue. And again, we're going to be going around the perimeter of our shape, and you're going to be mixing this light blue into that white, because if we mix this light blue into the pink, we're actually going to create purple. So if you want that effect, you could have skipped the white step and you'll mix your blue into your pink, creating purple. Again, this is your painting, so anything that you want to change or add or have more of a color of than I put on the canvas, please feel free to adjust the painting to make it your own. And just like we were mixing from one shade of pink into the other, you can see where I'm wiping my brush off and with light pressure kind of pulling that light blue into that white, and it kind of makes it an even lighter blue. But just kind of play with it. Your muscles are learning a lot with the blending. Your brain's taking in a lot of information as you're mixing your colors and blending. You are doing a great job. And also same thing if you want to wipe your brush off and where that white is meeting the light pink, do the same thing to kind of soften that line and that transition. And you're doing a great job. Hopefully you're starting to feel relaxed. It's nice just to move paint on the canvas. All right, so we're going to make a slightly darker blue, kind of a medium shade blue. And again, going around the perimeter of that lighter blue. If you kind of go off the edge of the canvas, totally okay. And then you'll do the same thing for where the two shades meet. And here you can see I'm actually going for a little bit of a lighter blue. If you want to go darker blue or lighter blue, or even throw some purple in here, again, this is your painting. Feel free to add what you want to your canvas. And again, wipe your brush off from the excess paint, and where the two shades are meeting, you can kind of slightly blend the two colors. If you even want to finger paint, go right ahead. Use your fingers to kind of blend the two colors. And anything you want to do to your background, do it while the paint is wet. So here you can see that I'm actually making a little bit of a darker blue for that edge. So again, anything that you want to adjust, if you're feeling like you want something else in there, don't be afraid to do it. Go ahead and add it on your canvas. And what we're doing is called wet on wet blending, where you're putting another color on top of your wet background. And this is a method that you'll see me incorporate in a lot of my videos on my YouTube channel. And the most important thing with painting, especially for a first-time painter, is just getting comfortable with the process. All right, so pause the video, take your progress photo. You're going to clean your brush really good, and I did let my background fully dry before I'm moving into this yellow-green mixture. And we're mixing yellow and green. You can mix as much of one color as you like, make it the shade of green that you like. And we're going on the bottom of the canvas, and about the bottom 2 inches of the canvas, we're going to be layering this color on top of it and creating our ground for our tree to hang out in. And if you're using student grade paint, make sure you apply your paint a little bit thicker. You'll have a little bit more workability with it and a bit more opaque coverage. And just like we were doing in the background, if you want one area that's a little bit lighter, you can see where I'm grabbing the yellow, kind of putting it on the top of my ground line. And then you can do the same thing with the green, using light pressure, just kind of softly blending it into the ground. All right, take your progress photo, and we're going to move into the tree trunk, and we're going to be using raw sienna plus a little bit of burnt sienna. Still using that medium flat brush, and we're going to start with the trunk of the tree. And I do want it to overlap our heart shape, so that's in the background. And you can see where I kind of started with the tip of the tree and then made it wider as it got towards the ground, towards that green grass. Again, apply your paint a little bit thicker if you're using student grade paint, and you'll have a bit more opaque coverage. All right, after you've got your tree trunk in there, we're going to move into the branches. And if you need to move down to the small pointy brush, feel free to switch brushes. And you're thinking that each line that you put on here is a branch on your tree. So you do want them connecting back to your tree trunk or connecting to another tree. Now you can make your tree as large or small as you want on your canvas, completely up to you. And when we get into adding the foliage, the hearts, you can add as many or as few as you want. So hopefully you're finding the relaxing portion of painting and enjoying this process. And hopefully you're not thinking about anything else in your life right now except for the painting that you're working on. And that is one of the most valuable aspects of the painting process. All right, you can see that I moved down to the small pointy brush to get into smaller branches. Again, as you're moving with this brush, mind the pressure of your brush. Light pressure will create skinnier lines. A little bit more pressure is going to create some fatter lines. And don't stress if you have a variation between fat and wide or wide and skinny lines. You will be putting your foliage on here, and you can kind of cover up anything that you may not like from a previous step. But you're doing a great job. I'm very proud of you for painting at home. And if you need to apply a second coat on top of your tree trunk, go right ahead and do that. All right, pause the video and take your progress photo. And we're going to put some roots on here. So doing that mixture, the brown and raw sienna, or the burnt sienna and raw sienna. And you're going to put these kind of like finger-like roots over the grass area. And it just kind of makes them like an old gnarly tree that's been alive for centuries. All right, pause the video and take your progress photo. All right, so I do want you to make sure that your tree is fully dry before you move on to putting your foliage, because you don't want any of the brown colors mixing with your foliage colors, which we're going to be doing shades of light pink, medium pink, red. You can even throw some purples in there. But what we're going to be doing is making a bunch of smaller hearts. I did call this the tree of love. And you're thinking that each heart shape is a leaf on your tree. So I do want you to kind of fill up and put quite a few hearts on here so you have a nice healthy tree, lots of foliage. And as you're using the brush, as you get into smaller little hearts, if you kind of use the width of the brush and just make a V shape, it looks like a heart. And as you get into bigger hearts, you can use a bit more pressure and go through the traditional method of how you draw a heart if you're holding a pencil or a marker. And have your hearts kind of going in different directions. They can sit on the branch. They can overlap each other. We're going to go through a couple of different shades of pink, and then we'll go through some darker shades of pink, some shades of red. If you want to throw some shades of blue or even purple in there, completely your call. I do recommend that when you kind of switch colors, let all these dry and then switch colors and put more hearts on top of them so that way you can overlap the heart shapes and the colors aren't going to mix together. Because you'll notice as we fill up our tree space, when you overlap them, it just makes the tree look fuller and healthier and just makes it look really kind of cool. If you prefer to use a different shape, if you want to do circles or oval shapes or full-on leaf shapes, feel free. You can switch this out to be anything that you want. You can even do shades of green for your foliage. Completely your call. And here you can see where there's a few hearts that are kind of falling off the tree. Feel free to do that. Maybe some are falling on the ground. All right, you guys are doing a great job. If you want, go ahead and clean your brush. We're going to move into yellow and green paint, and we're going to add some grass some leaves of grass, or some blades of grass that overlap the tree trunk and even overlap the horizon line a little bit. So you can grab either your mixture, yellow and green, or even just straight green or straight yellow. And I want you to make dash marks, and each dash mark is like a blade of grass. So I want you overlapping the horizon line and even overlapping some of your blades of grass over the tree trunks or over the tree roots. And again, it's okay to do some with the yellow-green mixture, some with the straight green, and then some with the straight yellow, just to kind of get some nice depth and variety in your grass area. All right, pause the video, take your progress photo, and maybe let that dry, and then you're going to move into a lighter or darker shade of pink, or even a different color, completely your call. Again, overlapping the tree branches, overlapping the other hearts, maybe having some of your heart leaves falling on the ground, completely your call. You're doing a great job. Remember to breathe, relax, just enjoy the process of painting and how much you've transformed a blank white canvas into a scene. I'm really proud of you. You're doing great. All right, and this may take a couple of layers to give that foliage. So if you end up doing 5 or 6 layers of hearts on your tree, that's okay. Do it to your liking. All right, guys, great job. Thanks for taking time out of your day to paint with me. I'm really proud of you. Keep up the good work and keep painting. Until next time, cheers.
Hey guys, I hope you had a great time and I hope your paintings turned out really nice. Hopefully you're a little more relaxed now than maybe at the beginning of the process, and you should be very proud of yourselves. I'm proud of you for painting at home. Like I said in the intro, make sure that you find a creative outlet on a monthly basis and just keep building the skills that you are currently learning. You do get better with more practice. As you're uploading your videos and photos to social media, please tag me, Paint with Lovejoy, or email me your pictures, paintwithlovejoy@gmail.com. It really makes my day when I get your emails and see the student photos and see what you do at home. And it also gives me a lot of motivation to continue to make videos for this channel. So please let me know how you're doing. So again, thanks so much for painting with me today. I'm really honored to be a part of your creative process, and I do look forward to painting with you in the future. Cheers.